Hot and dry weather has continued through today, with very high temperatures once again across most parts of England and Wales, and in many other areas too. The highest temperatures on August the 12th were seen at Hurstmonceau, which was 34 degrees down in the southeast, 33 degrees seen in many other locations from the eastern part of England to Devon and Cornwall. Low temperatures were at Strathallan and Aboyne, which got down to 7 degrees overnight, both of those locations in Scotland, and 9 degrees elsewhere in other parts of Scotland and in Belfast. Right now the heat is still on, with excessive heat warnings for large areas, as you can see, and we've got some fire concerns, as you would expect, as we all know about, particularly towards the southeast where the drought is really starting to bite. On the 19th of July, we reached 40 degrees Celsius in the UK. We've got a commemorative t-shirt there if you're interested in the Force 13 store. Well then, let's take a look at the forecast over the next few days. This is coming into Saturday, and you can see that cloud cover is just starting to pick up just a tad, but low temperatures overnight will still remain fairly warm, 11 degrees the absolute low. Winds will be calm, although on the Irish Sea, maybe a little bit breezy. Coming into Saturday then, those clouds start to build just a little bit along the western coast, but most areas are going to remain fairly clear, with high temperatures soaring once again. In Scotland, possibly a little bit cooler than it was today, but still very high temperatures, well, fairly high temperatures in the northern part of Scotland, 26, 29 though in Glasgow and down the western coast. In Ireland, also getting up to around 29 or 30 degrees Celsius. And across England and Wales, those temperatures spiking up once again. Saturday may be the hottest day for some areas. In other areas that might have been today, but 35 degrees expected as the high along that M4 corridor from London to Bristol and the Severn Estuary. Also a hot point up towards Cambridgeshire and towards the Wash, 35 degrees certainly possible in that area as well, Cambridgeshire and towards Norfolk. And as you can see there, mostly clear skies, cloud building towards the southwest later on in the day. That frontal system is still mercilessly parked off the coast of the British Isles and still won't come into dock anytime soon until later on. Sunday, cloud into the early morning of Sunday, cloud starting to build a little bit, but that will mean warmer temperatures in the interim for the overnight there, 16 or 17. And then during Sunday, cloud will take a bigger feature during the course of the day, with perhaps a little smattering of showers here and there. Certainly in Scotland, you'll see some potentially significant rain showers further north along Loch Ness. Decent temperatures once again though, although it'll be much cloudy, and you'll notice that 27 to 29 degrees in southern Scotland. Ireland finally passes behind the front mostly, with temperatures there struggling to the early 20s, low 20s in the western part of Ireland. But further south in England and Wales, we're looking at very high temperatures once again, with 33 possibly blanketing England there, with 32 degrees in parts of Wales. But as you can see there, a few little traces of blue, precipitation in trace amounts probably for parts of Wales and the southwest. Well, I say trace amounts, that's what it displays on the model. They're actually more likely to be very short-lived blow-ups of possibly some thunderstorms actually along the western coastline. Windiness there is not going to be a huge factor. It'll get a little bit breezy along the south and southeastern coastlines, which will possibly take the edge off the temperatures, especially when the cloud rolls in. So Sunday evening we'll see rain really start to liven up now towards the western part of the country, especially in Scotland. Low temperatures down to 11, but further south, not really a respite yet, 16 or 17. And then on Monday we're looking at higher temperatures once again, but not as warm as it was in previous days, much more cloud. And finally we'll see the heavens open, I think, in many parts of central and western England. 26 degrees in Birmingham, 28 further towards the east, and it looks like the drought busting will begin, but not for all locations. We are very concerned about southeastern parts of the country, London and the southeast and Kent particularly, where there may not be any rainfall in the next 10 days. We'll have to see how that goes. It's going to be a tricky period down there, but for the time being, the heat is still on for a couple more days.